Rome now fights a war on two separate fronts, and we were getting along so well with Babylon. Hello, Legion, this is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Old World in our Early Access series. I wanted to kick this episode off with a bit of a different take on, a bit of a different close-up, if you will, on the game, which is literally just a close-up. We haven't spent a lot of time really zoomed in on the details of the map, and for an Early Access game, this is just beautiful at this point. Not just early access, but for those of you who might just be jumping in and watching this video, perhaps before others in the playlist, just to be clear, the game has been out in early access as of this recording for 5 days. Just 5 days. This is not pre-recorded. I actually have some audio things that I'm troubleshooting right now, so I am recording day to day so that I can get active feedback on each episode. But obviously not the ideal plan. But the point is that because I'm doing that, I am recording this on the 5th day after early access launch, and the game already looks this good. I think that's just an important piece of context for those of you who might be watching now or in the future, because it's amazing no matter how you look at it. Of course, there are still some things still in progress. We have the hamlet that is untextured. The Shrine of Mars over here is untextured. You can't really tell when you zoom out on the Shrine of Mars because of the shading, but it is untextured. And then, of course, the pyramids don't yet have a proper, I don't know, they might look like this even when they're done. I'm not sure. They are, how close are they to being done? Oh, 4 years, duh. It's right on the screen. So one thing I want to take a look at this episode in particular is, in addition to fighting the wars on two fronts, because we're now dealing with Babylon, we have to see what they do with their military. Again, this is not civilization. It doesn't just cycle through every single unit that you have and lets you do something with every single unit every turn. You have a certain number of orders that you can use in each turn. And that's been something I've talked about from the very beginning. But one thing that can happen is if you're focused on a war, like we are, you may not be able to do things with, for instance, your workers or your civilian units in general, whatever your civilian units might be, because you're out of orders, which I think is certainly something worth thinking about. So we've just built Aratium here. We founded the city of Aratium, and the Numidians have this cavalry unit here on this hill. That makes me a little bit nervous. We're currently at a state of truce with them. We might change that because we need to get some additional territory before the Babylonians get a similar idea. But then again, you could look at that from the other direction and say, if the Babylonians are kind enough to take one or both of these particular settlements, and we're already at war with the Babylonians, but not the Numidians, then perhaps we would have to fight fewer enemies at once, because we are certainly still fighting Carthage for now. Let's go ahead and end the year. We'll review notifications real quick. We finished our mine. Okay. Yeah. So because there was a resource shortfall, we did hit a shortage last turn. We're not in a shortage anymore, but last turn there was. We spent 6.8 gold to buy 1 iron. Now, our economy is doing freaking great in terms of the money that we're making. Resource economy needs some work because I'm learning how to balance the income of these different resources, which again are different from what you see in early game Civ. But economically, we have the money that we need to balance that kind of situation out. So not a big deal. And then we have the 2 workers that we trained. We discovered the battle line. Our slingers were attacked, saw that, and a hostile slinger has been seen. That's the one that we have started preparing to fight right here. Nothing else that I can do. I'm actually completely out of order. So let's end the year and see what Carthage does. All right, so they appear to have backed off, unsurprisingly. Okay, Lucilla now has a desired ambition. Enact 8 laws. And good, Ahatsunu is no longer ill. Wonderful news. We didn't want the queen to die this quickly. I mean, she became ill when she was still the princess, but then Romulus died. So that became a much more dire situation for Rome fairly quickly. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can do here. I've already got a mine built. I still want to figure out exactly how roads work in the game. And this mine, this is a metal mine. This would be a... That would be metal as well. Wouldn't be... Oh yeah, that's right, because mines are metal, quarries are stone. Makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a road here. Okay, there we go. Now we are actually seeing the road. You couldn't quite see it before. I guess I'm zoomed in and I can see it a little better now. It's also possible that they've updated the game and the update snuck under my radar and now they've got roads in there. But I think I just couldn't see it really because of the way it kind of blends in with the tile around this Shrine of Mars, completely untextured. But we're going to get this road headed this direction. Not even completely sure what roads do, but we will learn that as we go. So we have this worker here, and it seems like there are a couple of different spots we need to. Yeah, we haven't done anything with horses yet. There's a camp there. There's a quarry here. And this is marble. So I feel like that would be, not only would that be a twice as productive quarry. Let's take a quick look at what that does for us. Oh. Pointing to the tooltip gives us the same information that's on the quarry tooltip. Okay, thanks for that. That was useful. Let's go ahead and move you up to this pasture. How about that? So that's half in order. And now we have some workers here as well. We can build a courthouse. And we are still trying to control some courthouses in different locations. So I think building one here will be a nice step towards our ambition. We currently only have, well, we have none at the moment, but we can change that. Now we can build a garrison here, which apparently, because Antium now counts as a developing city, that's, again, has to do with the culture level. And it needs to go all the way up to 200 before we reach the next level. We can say that we would like a garrison. And just to tell the difference, so a barracks is additional training at a maintenance cost of 2 iron per year, and you get additional XP per year for idle melee units in Antium's territory, I would imagine. And then the garrison, okay, gives you a city governor. So, so this makes the city a little bit better at defending itself. Does have a maintenance cost of stone per year. We have lots of quarries, though, so that's okay. I mean, look how much stone we're making per year. I think we can afford that. And then we get the additional 0.5 orders per year. Let's go ahead and do the garrison, as the game suggested. Okay, so I'm kind of curious what might be going on. All right, if I were to move you here, I can't get past the barbarians. Sad day. Let's move that scout all the way back because I don't want them to get hurt. And then we have this worker here. Let's see. Mine, Hamlet. I think either a barracks or a garrison would be a really good idea here. We already have a barracks, but we don't have a garrison yet. And a hamlet, again, provides additional benefits to adjacent theaters and baths. Yeah, so basically more culture income, more growth. We looked at that before, but I'm just reminding myself because not only am I on a different recording session, but still learning the game. So let's build another. Part of me wants to just do another mine because we do need the metal. But we don't, however, have the... Interesting, we don't actually have the lumber. We need to wait a turn, actually 2 turns, in order to have the lumber. But that's okay. We can do that. Let's go ahead and heal this unit. And we have this slinger here that I can promote if I wanted to. And I think it's probably worthwhile to consider... Yeah, let's give them combat 1. I've got lots of training coming in right now, and we kind of need to focus on that as much as possible. Okay. We have this slinger here. I think... Let's see what we can do with these 2 units without bringing the slinger into the equation. All right, so we're going to attack Gades here. Okay, we're probably going to need to use them. Here we go. City captured. The siege is over. A Carthaginian city has fallen to us in battle. In the aftermath, a message arrives from Asdrubal's royal envoy. We wish to discuss a truce. There will be no truce. Carthago delinda est. So, currently it's in a state of anarchy because we've just conquered it. Not familiar with this system at all. What does this mean? I don't know. I've never conquered a city in this game before. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, well, let's just keep focusing down here then. We have some wounded units, which is not the best. I don't know that I want to attack Carthage with wounded units. Part of me, I'm out of orders. See, it sneaks up on you. I got all the workers taken care of, and now my military units can't even, retreat to heal. I can't even force move them. Okay, let's see what this is. Discerning Judgement. 2 feuding Numidian warlords have arrived at court seeking an impartial arbiter. Interesting. They claim that violence will spill over into our lands if their conflict cannot be resolved. Well, that's not good. After explaining the intricacies of their dispute, they ask for a decision. What shall we suggest? Oh, bloody hell. So we can enter into a new state of war with the Numidians and gain two legitimacy as a result. Yeah, Appius is not wise enough to resolve this. So now we're at war with everyone around us. Okay, let the fun begin. I'm going to move this worker back. Well, we actually can't. This just gets more and more interesting every single episode. All right, so I'll be lucky if okay. So they did just try and attack those workers. In a stroke of good luck, Rhea has come into possession of a lion, a rare exotic creature from the south. I love this in quotes. She wishes to use the beast in one of Sulpicia's science lessons, but the girl is reluctant. All it took was one look at the cat's enormous teeth. Shall we insist on this first-hand experience? So we can allow her to learn about lions from scholarly reports. So she would gain wisdom but become cowardly. So just as a reminder, this is the Duchess. She's 7 now. And so she's not first in line. Faustus is first in line. But his sister, Sulpicia, younger by 3 years, is currently considering whether or not she wants to command lions personally, or examine the lions personally. We're considering whether to command her to examine the lion personally and get eaten alive, clearly. So she'd get a cowardly reduction. Let's have her be a true Roman. Which means foolishly courageous, but she's going to examine the lion personally. Oh boy. All right, let's move you back because I don't want to lose that unit. All right, so now we have a bit of a situation on our hands. Because this unit on its own, let's see what we can do here. So these are both, we have one, I think these are both ranged cavalry. Yeah, they're both ranged cavalry. So let's go ahead and promote you to Horsebane because you're going to be fighting against horse units over there. And we are going to have to move some units back. The question is which ones? At this point, we have no choice. So we might have to forge a truce with Carthage after what's happened with the Numidians there. All right, so let's now heal. Notice each of these is costing me an order, which is expected. And I do want to leave you here. Let's go ahead and withdraw you. That's another order. Move them a little bit farther. So we're going to need to get some... These are my ranged units. I need to get some mounted and preferably... We just have more training we need to do. We have a minor coming out in Ostia, but we need more military units before long. Certainly had an interesting warlike situation develop here. I wasn't necessarily anticipating it, given what we've had going in the series so far, and given the difficulty that we have been playing on, which is not that high, all things considered. But the game is certainly trying a little bit harder than I might have expected from my experience with, say, Civilization, to kill me. After a series of fiery arguments, the Fabius and Amorite families have both put forward candidates for the position of ambassador. To please one means to offend the other. But difficult choices are the bane of leadership. So these labels are not working properly. So this would be additional. This is the Fabia family, and then this is the, I guess, yeah, the Amorite family. Yeah, so their labels are working properly here, but not here. So we're basically choosing between the Fabii or the Amorites. Let's go with the Fabii. So Rhea Fabia is now ambassador. Opinion of me is cautious. I'm really confused, though, because Rhea Fabia, that's an old label. I think that character that's being shown in the ambassador slot is a new character. Isn't she? Yeah. Because she's not a member of our family. So this is just, she's just a great scientist. She's not actually part of our bloodline. Which is why that logo is there, I guess. I don't know. Something was weird about those tooltips. I can't quite understand where this character came from, but it's just because she doesn't come from our family. So this might be one of the first instances where you just have a great character of some kind. I've seen great scientists in the game before that are not part of your existing family, and I think that is in the same kind of domain. So, let's see. Yeah, the worker was attacked. I know that. Elite nomad skirmisher has been seen. Yeah, we're not in a good defensive position at the moment. I might need to make a truce with Carthage, if we can. Okay, so we need an order in order to forge a truce. Let's end the year and see what they do in response to our current moves. Alright, shocking. They're attacking from this direction. They don't appear to have that many units in position. Okay. So they're pillaging. The ascension of Melishipok to Babylonia has inspired a popular rebellion in the city of Ostia, known for its many ethnic Babylonians. We must do something to address this population's grievances before their fervor spreads. Deport all ethnic Babylonians from Ostia, so King Appius becomes intolerant. Or throw a celebration of their heritage. So he would become intelligent, and we would gain additional science per culture level. And I can totally afford this. Let's just throw a celebration of their heritage. Interesting that that's... I love the cultural overlay there. That would never, ever, 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 ever happen in Civilization 6. I freaking love that. Okay. Now, we're not quite at a range where we can attack these guys. And I'm a little bit concerned. Part of me wants to just promote them more. No, I'm not gonna... I don't have any good candidates for general. Yeah, they're not quite in attack range. The attack range on this unit is, as you can see, 2. If you look down there in the bottom right. They'll do lots of damage when they can attack, but I'm worried about their ability to take the damage. So I think what I want to do is let the units get closer, because I'm assuming that I get a defensive bonus if I hang out in Ostia. I assume that. Or, no, it seems like maybe as long as I'm in urban tiles. Let's try this. Okay, so done a little bit of damage to them. I can train another slinger here. And I may be able to just buy this outright. if I understand the way this system works. No, I can't. I'm trying to hold down Alt. It was a tooltip that I saw while the game was loading up. Hold Alt to buy. Okay, so I can buy a spearman or a maceman when I don't have... Okay, interesting. So I still have to train them. But I can train a spearman right now because I have the gold to do it. Okay, that's amazing. Let's go ahead and give that order because I want a spearman here. Okay, I'm glad I figured that out. Thank you for that one tooltip, even though I missed it for the first several episodes. So that's very, very useful. Basically, if you missed what just happened, we don't quite have enough iron income at present. We just dropped down to 0 because we spent everything we had to start training that spearman there, which is going to help us both with the Numidians and the Babylonians. But it's still going to take some turns to train up, and we have to move several units across the way here. Let's first see if we can have a truce with Carthage. Not because I want to let up against Carthage, but because we have this unexpected situation to the south. And if I take advantage of the situation by conquering some Numidian cities, that will not only help us against Babylon, but it will give us additional economic sites that, without fighting against the Numidians, we wouldn't take them anyway. So let's do... I don't want to do this. I want to defeat Carthage because it's Carthage, but I'm trying to do what's practical here. My initial decision was, no, screw you, I will never, but then it's like, wait a minute. All right, Gades, it looks like, is officially our city. So let's go ahead and say that we want to... Yeah, let's say that we want to do repairs first. It's just going to take a single year. And then we have to choose production in Beneventum. So we once again have the option to make some purchases here, which I really, really like the fact that you can do that. That's so freaking cool. All right, so we need to give Gades to one of our families. And that's an interesting question, isn't it? Because right now we have... Is there an easy way to tell... Here we go. 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities. So really it needs to belong to the Cloudy Eye. So let's go ahead and give it to Claudius. So we have an even split there. We do have some Babylonians... Or not Babylonians, some barbarians. There's some barbarians over here to the right. We'll have to take care of before long. Now, you definitely need to be healed up before you get slung to death. But part of me wants to at least finish these guys off while I can. Seems like... Okay, there we go. So when I mouse over that, that's the combat information. Can I buy the upgrades in the same way? Yes, I can, but now I don't have any more gold. So you can actually buy the upgrades when you don't have the resources for them. That is amazing to know. That's in the tooltips too, so you'll notice there that it's telling me that, and it's probably been telling me that the whole time, but I'm picking up a couple of things at a time as I play through this. That is incredibly useful. So I could promote this unit now. And since we're fighting potentially from urban territory, garrison wouldn't be the worst thing for this unit. Yeah, part of me really does want to just wreck these guys with these units. These guys need to heal up. So let me... I'm going to send this unit like all the way the heck back. Tell you what, let's send them here. Well, they need to be in my territory. So we'll send them here. And then I'm going to have them heal. I love that. We were able to send them so far and heal them. Think about whether you're thinking Civilization 5. Most recently, I've played a lot of Civilization 6 over the past several years. You couldn't do that in Civ 6. You couldn't even move them multiple places, let alone move them multiple places and then tell them to heal and get the points back this turn. That's so cool. All right, so we have this new slinger that's kind of moving through. I kind of want to keep you here to defend. What are your current bonuses? Steadfast versus barbarians? Okay, well. Yeah, let's keep this slinger here. We may well be able to finish this up. I don't know how the truce is going to go, but I think the smartest thing to do... I'm so torn with this particular unit. I really am. Tell you what, since I'm so torn, let's go ahead and just heal them. Yeah, can't do an upgrade here. I can see myself making some mistakes with that particular interface because these these buttons, like, unless you make the very specific effort to note which one says cancel and which one says choose, their placement is kind of arbitrary. They're both right next to the choose general for warrior kind of label. So I can see myself, like, while thinking about something else or talking about something else in an episode in particular. Maybe not while playing off of YouTube. I'm less likely to make that mistake, but that is exactly the kind of thing that can happen when commentating while playing. Let's go ahead and cancel that. Oh my gosh. I can just, I see it now. I see it now. All right, so let's go ahead and give you combat 2. All right, no promotions, but I can fortify you here. And then our warrior we can fortify. And these guys I can't promote because we're out of training for now, but we're about to have more. A mercenary band of axemen has arrived in the capital offering its allegiance for a price. How shall we respond? Pay them for their services. We gain an axeman in Roma. Yes, please. That's actually very handy. So now we have this axeman that can move straight down and even do a little bit of fighting in the very next turn. Check that out. So they'll be able to help defend us against Numidia. Speaking of which, of course, we've already attacked them this turn. But we're about 27 minutes into this episode, so I'm going to stop this one here. And in the next one, we are going to be taking care of the Numidians, probably, especially with these two forces now, and the spearmen just 4 years away. But then over here, we may be able, depending on how the truce with Carthage goes, to do some more damage to their armies while also continuing to bolster our new city of Gades. We are eventually going to come back and actually conquer Carthage. I'm so annoyed that these other efforts, these war efforts have developed, if you want to call them that. There are others' efforts against us. Babylonians making a concerted effort, the Numidians just being a lesser tribe at the moment and wreaking havoc because that's what lesser tribes do. They're kind of distracting me from my goals. I would love to take Carthage right now, but the smart thing to do is to kind of focus on fighting the Numidians and taking some of these city sites, which will help us both with them and the Babylonians. So it's kind of like 2 versus 1, Carthage being 1, Babylonians and the Numidians being 2. So that's kind of my thinking at the moment, and we'll have to continue pursuing that. We also still have the city site up here, which we've had to put off because of this 3-war situation, but it's going well regardless, and I'm having a lot of fun. The game is just really impressive. Obviously, there's still stuff being worked on, but the amount of completion that I'm experiencing, it's been tough not to play this game a bunch off of the screen, basically off of YouTube, because part of me really, really wants to get more familiar with the game, but I also want to experience it for the first time in this series because this is the early access series. And then once that's over, then of course I will spend some time really getting more familiar with it and just playing it and having fun so that I can do a little bit more focused gameplay in the future. But for now, it's fantastic. I'm enjoying your feedback as well. Continue to give me either suggestions, just your thoughts on the game so far, what kind of series you might like to see going forward. I would probably follow a similar theme to what I've done in Civilization 6 in the past. But anyway, I'm talking out loud, and we're over 29 minutes now. Talking out loud? Thinking out loud? Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm thinking out loud. Just rambling is what I meant to say. So, where are the Babylonians? Borsippa? More Numidians? The Numidians are everywhere. Have you noticed that? We've got a lot to do. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.